Hello and welcome to Scrolls again. This time we're back in the test server because Decay has been introduced. Now I said something big was happening this week. Was it? I was going to say May, but yeah it was. Now, we've got a full resource of stuff to go through, so I'm going to go through them all in the deck builder. Give you my quick opinions then, and then I'm just going to hop into a game with a Decay deck so you can see some of the stuff in action. We won't cover everything, but we'll see most of the things that are in Decay in play. So let's start off with Arthritis. Each time enchanted unit deals damage, it also deals 1 damage to itself. I already see this on like a Kinfolk Brave, as you counter to that. But at the same time, you've also got the better version, which is Languid, which just decreases his attack by 2 and draws you a scroll. So this is a common, it probably won't see very much play at all, but it's there. It's a nice little 1-drop that deals some damage to a creature if it's attacking. Atropy. Atropy? Pretty sure that's how that's said. This is another 1 cost. Its target unit's attack is decreased by 5 until end of opponent's next turn. So this is a very huge pacifism, just says, nope, you're hitting for basically nothing. Kind of a wasted spell because, I mean, you can do something far more useful like kill the guy instead of doing this mumbo-jumbo pacifism that doesn't last for forever. It's good, but it's not spectacular. It probably won't see much play either. This scroll might see some play in a highly aggressive growth decay deck, because when enchanted creature deals damage to an idol, it deals 3 extra damage. This means that if you put it on a Kinfolk Brave starts hitting idols for half their health on potentially turn 3. So that is pretty powerful in that kind of aggressive deck. Admittedly, that will be a very loose deck unless you're going for a very perfect finish and you get hex marks on a relentless creature. It's not going to make a huge difference in the late game. It's more of an early game, very aggressive spell, and you need to make sure that you have it in your hand. Now, Husk, the bread and butter of Decay. He is an undead creature with no special abilities. He has 3 attack, 3 countdown, and 2 health. He is pretty basic, and he shows up as text in 2 other scrolls, so we'll get to them in a bit. Mangy Rat. When Mangy Rat attacks a creature, that creature gets poisoned for 3 rounds. It has 1 attack, 2 countdown, and 1 health. Now, this is gonna disappoint a whole lot of people who are waiting for this thing like, yeah, it's gonna be the savior of rats, it's gonna be a massive buff. This isn't the scroll that does it. There is a scroll later that might make some rat enthusiasts happy, but as it stands, this is just a nice creature that would be cool in the early game because it poisons when it hits. Deals with all those early aggressive creatures quite slowly, but it deals with them. Regeniture. Target unit gains 2 health. When Regeniture comes into play, enchanted unit's controller's idol on that row is dealt 1 damage. So this is your guys get a buff, become slightly stronger, but your idol will take damage again in a growth decay deck with some heavy aggression. This could be good on a Kinfolk Brave to keep them from dying at the cost of some damage to your idol. A lot of the scrolls in Decay have that hit to your idol, and for the most part, I think people are just going to play them anyway because they're really powerful. But in the late game, if you keep playing them, you'll probably kill yourself. Quite risky. Scavenger Construct for 1. When an adjacent unit dies, Scavenger Construct's health is increased by 2. This is like the baby version of the Ilmir Rot Eater. This is the baby version because it only gets health buff, but it gets more health buff. This is a good construct. The problem is you want your structures, it's a good structure. You want your structures on the front lines taking the hits, not at the back getting massive crazy buffs from people dying in front of them. So the chances of us seeing this being played is probably quite narrow because there are much better things you want to be doing on turn 1, like summoning your Husks or your staggering Muckheads, and then you've got Bitterroot to fill that structure spot if you need it. Shroud of Unlife, which is an enchantment for 1. When enchanted creature is destroyed, an undead husk is summoned in its place. Now, this scroll seems kind of meh because you don't... husks aren't that great. They're pretty good when you're fighting Order because Order has less Relentless, so when you get an Honourable General attacking with a Vanguard, Vanguard kills a husk, another husk is summoned, and then the General kills that husk. So it's kind of a nice... Your lane is 4 creatures long instead of 3 creatures long type of spell in the same way that Illthorn Root was, but I think husks are better than Illthorn Root. Illthorn. Because of the fact that they can attack for such high amounts. Next we got the Staggering Muckhead. This will probably see a lot of play because it's a very solid early game unit. It has the ability that makes it just a little bit difficult to predict with the moves to a random adjacent tile. That's really hard to get used to. So I'm like, attack! This will be perfect. And then the Mughead's just like, nah! I'm attacking from over here and goes screwing off somewhere else. It has really low health, which can make it good in certain circumstances. And it also has the 3 attacks, so this is very much a glass cannon. Unbind. Sacrifice target non-decay structure you control, increase decay by 1. So this will obviously be in your splashed decks, where you want to target the memorials to get you decay as well as the resource they got you in the first place. So that's a 3-colour deck that I'm describing there. If you want to make a dual-colour deck, and it does involve any structures, you might as well stick Unbind in there for that decay boost to get you some ramp. Now we're onto the 2-cost spells with Animivore, I think. When a unit adjacent to enchanted unit dies, enchanted unit is dealt 1 damage and you draw 1 scroll. This is a pretty cool scroll because you want to put it on your Rot Eaters so that it's taking damage, but it's also regaining that damage so it doesn't take the effect. Or maybe even put it on the Witch Doctor so that when humans die next to him and you get a husk, you also get to draw a scroll, but your guy is taking damage. So the toss-ups might overweigh the benefits, considering there are a lot of ways to draw scrolls in Decay. That one is probably not one I'd recommend. Bitterroot returns. Bitterroot with its... I'm tired of talking about Bitterroot. For those of you that don't know what Bitterroot does, it's 2 decay, 0 attack, 0 countdown, 2 health. It's a structure and a wall. When Bitterroot is attacked in melee combat, attacking unit becomes poisoned for 3 rounds. There you go. That's what Bitterroot does. It's been around for ages. We've discussed it a lot because it's one of the few things we've known solidly about Decay, and now it's here for us to actually use. It's going to be what you play on turn 2 most likely, because it'll kill most things that hit it. It's probably better than the Mangy Rat. Energy Siphon. This is an enchantment with crazy art. When Energy Siphon comes into play, increase energy by 1. Enchanted creatures' attack and health are decreased by 1. So, by the looks of this, you can put this on an enemy unit and get away with it. According to the text. That will have to be tested, but basically you could put this on an enemy unit to decrease its attack and health and gain you energy. But like I said, that will need testing before we can say whether or not that is what it does. It might require you to put it on your own creatures, which would make more sense. That's your way to get energy if you're playing Decay, so it will probably see a lot of play if a energy Decay deck does come up, and I think it will. Speaking of energy decay, Infected Gravelock. When Infected Gravelock attacks a creature, that creature gets poisoned for 3 rounds. Infected Gravelock has move 0. So it can't go anywhere, but you can buff it up with your Elders to give it 5 attack and 6 health if you wanted to. And anytime it hits something, that thing becomes poisoned, so that stacked on top of the damage it does at first, it could make it a really powerful scroll in energy and decay. But it can't move, so that's worth remembering. As a scroll in Decay, it's alright. It's good because it sits in the front and just constantly attacks. It's a small wall. And I mean, there are worse things you can do for walls. Really, it's a toss-up between the Bitterroot and the Infected Gravelock. Languid. Enchanted unit's attack is decreased by 2 when Languid comes into play, draw and scroll. This one you can play on an enemy unit to stop it from being quite as deadly. It's the duration of the enemy attack is permanent, and you get to draw a scroll. So that's pretty nice. It's like just a perfect pacifism. Loyal Darkling. One attack, 2 countdown, and 2 health. When countdown is 0, Loyal Darkling can be sacrificed. When Loyal Darkling is destroyed, deal 2 damage to your opponent's idol on the same row. Now, Decay's 2 real themes, in my opinion, are killing your own stuff and dealing damage to idols. And there is another scroll coming up that this will work really well with, as well as another kill your own stuff scroll that I will mention. As it is, it's a Sim-Mark Zealot that only hits idols, and if this is what you really want to be playing, then it's probably for a very specific deck. I don't think it'll see much cross-play in just mono Decay. It probably won't show up so much, but don't forget it is like a decimation in a creature. So people may use it just for that opportunity to finish. So this is pretty cool because anytime something gets poisoned, it gets double the poison, which means that your Infected Gravelock gets more powerful, your Bitterroot gets more powerful. So maybe if you were to make a Growth Decay deck and you wanted a whole load of poisony stuff in there, then this could be quite a useful scroll to have as your background structure. In Mono Decay though, Bitterroot and Infected Gravelock probably aren't enough for you to get all the poison damage you want from it. Blightbearer also does poison, but the poison theme is not as heavy in Decay as you'd expect. I mean, this deals poison damage now, and it deals it at the start of each turn, but I'll get to that in a sec. Poison, I mean, Mangy Rat does poison, Bitterroot does poison, Infected Gravelock does poison, so maybe you could make a poison Decay deck actually looking at it. But I don't know how powerful that would be, and if you're splashing in Ranger's Bane, that could make a huge difference. Missamata well, all poison damage is increased by 1. Okay, Maya Curse. Enchanted unit deals 1 poison damage to adjacent units at the beginning of each of its turns. Yes! That's what I said it should be changed to, and it was changed. And all you people in the comments who are complaining, in your face. Suddenly this does stuff now. It's you get 1 hit from it, and then your opponent plays around it. So, it's still not superb in my opinion because of the fact that you can play around it, but now you at least get that guaranteed 1 hit, which could make a difference. Return to Nature. And don't forget, just back to Maya Curse. That mixed with Missamata well means that it does 2 damage, so it could potentially become a poison deck could exist, I think. And that would see a lot of play then. Return to Nature. Opponent creature gets -1 health until end of turn. If a creature was killed this way, increase growth by 1. So this is your way of getting your growth resources if you're playing in Decay. The targets for it really are your Vasia of the Wild and your Sister of the Fox. Anything else, it'll have to be weakened before it is killed. Now, what I would like to know is if you reduce its health by 1 and then kill it with something else, do you still get the growth? That is something I wish to playtest. But since this is just my first look at Decay, I can't say whether that does or does not do that. Searing Shackles is an enchantment. At the end of owner's turn, enchanted unit deals 1 damage to the idol on the same row. Enchanted unit is dealt 2 damage when it moves. So this is part of that dealing idol damage tactic that Decay kinda has going through it. And if you put this on one of their creatures, they suddenly start dealing damage to their own idol, and their best bet is to just move the creature until they can kill their own thing. Otherwise, they're going to take a whole load of idol damage if they do not move. Note that this is enchant a unit as well, so you can put this on a structure, and it can't move. Your opponent will have to find a way to kill it, otherwise they're going to lose all their stuff. Tethered Recruit. 2 attack, 2 countdown, and 1 health. As you can see, this guy is a Royal Infantryman who has been possessed. And when he dies, increase order by 1. So this is probably the simplest and easiest way of getting you a resource from another faction, and it's the order one because you just kill this guy and you got it. There's so many ways to kill your own guys, it's silly. So that's what you that's how you'll be splashing this guy if you want to use order in your deck, maybe for that decimation. Or even Faith Chains with how this could work with you killing your own creatures. Viscera Sage, creature human, 2 attack, 2 countdown, 2 health. When Viscera Sage kills another unit, draw 1 scroll. So this is, 2 attack is not super huge, so it doesn't make a massive difference. Maybe you can get a good shot off on a Kinfolk Brave, but for the most part, you'll probably be trying to keep him at the back so he delivers the finishing blow to stuff. I found towards the late game that managing him in a way that let him actually kill stuff probably was more tedious than it was worth. If I'd have just been using a better creature, I could have done way more damage. So I think he's an early game creature. He's probably going to see a lot of play because you need him for that card draw. But as an actual creature, he's not super great. But he will be around, I'm sure. 3 Decay now, we're up to. And we start off with Blightbearer. He is a human. He has 3 attack, 2 countdown, and 4 health. He takes 1 poison damage before attacking. That's important, because on his last attack, he doesn't do any damage from his attack. He dies before he hits, but when Blightbearer is destroyed, all creatures on the same row get poisoned for 3 rounds. That includes your creatures, but for the most part, you're going to be hitting your enemy. Brain Lice. I didn't talk about that guy. That guy's good. I like this guy. I think that he's really great because you can just simply step out the way when you think he's about to die, and if your opponent's the thing that kills him, something's getting poisoned. If you want to, you can hit him with some of the killing spells that are in Decay. You'll get a husk out of it or something, but he will poison everything. So he's quite nice. You set him up as a bomb and then just pop him and let everything slowly bleed to death. And it's poison damage, so with the Miasma. How did I not read that as miasma? With the miasma well. Man, I've been saying that wrong for ages. What was I saying? Mismata. The Mismata well. No, miasma well. That will buff him up to doing 2 poison to everything, which is quite nice. Now, back on to Brain Lice. Enchanted creature. When Brain Lice comes into play, enchanted creature becomes poisoned. When enchanted creature is destroyed, draw 1 scroll. There's more poison. And the fact that it does the poison damage to kill your creature with the miasma well, it can do it super fast, and that could be a good combination. As for the actual poison damage, you can play it on your opponent's stuff by the looks of it and slowly tick them down. Once they die, you draw the scroll. Cluster Hex. All units on target tile and all adjacent tiles gain Curse 1. Now this sounds like it's going to affect tiles, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. It just means the unit itself gains the curse, not the tile. So, Curse 1 means that all damage dealt, anytime the creature with Curse 1 takes damage, it takes 1 extra damage. So that's a pretty good spell. It means that you can just set an area where suddenly everything's going to take 1 extra damage from everything. But personally, I'd rather be a bit more proactive with my attacking than just doing 1 damage to everything. It's kind of how it feels when you play this, because if you do 1 damage to everything and then they're in kill range, it's basically an Inferno Blast, but this will have more effect if you couldn't kill it with 1 creature, couldn't kill it with 2, but if you were doing 2 extra damage, you could. So it's like a better Inferno Blast, really, as long as you're scoring hits. If you weren't hitting, then you're not going to get much from this. But Curse 1 is all damage, so any other damage you follow up with will kill, probably. 3. Draining Mist is a spell. All opponent units with countdown 1 or less have their countdown increased by 2. So this will slow down all of your opponent's units. Now we know how slowdown usually works when people cast Frostwind and it just doesn't do much. There's a Rallying or a God Hand coming that just negates everything you just did. But with this, you've got the entire of your opponent's board completely frozen, which is much better than Frostwind for that 1 cost. And their countdown is increased by 2, so if they were on 1, it suddenly becomes 3. Countdown of 1 at the start of their turn knocks them back down to 2, so even then a Rallying will still get it down. This, I think, is more of a anti-decay scroll, because there is a scroll called Restless Bones, which this counters perfectly. So we may see this seeing some play with Decay being so popular, but for the most part I don't expect to see it a lot. Grizzly Graft. This seems like it could be the next Unleash Inner Power for me. Enchant creature you control when Grizzly Graft comes into play. Sacrifices all adjacent creatures. Enchanted creature gains attack and health equal to the number of creatures sacrificed. The way this works is Golem Skin. Think about Golem Skin that destroys all structures. Well, this destroys all adjacent creatures. And then you can gain up to 9/9 from that. So this really, I think, will be more of a finisher than an actual solid buff, because things like Pushback and Violent Dispersal and Necrogeddon exist. So it's probably not worth banking on this unless it's your final whack. Or you're going to do a massive strike through all your opponent's lines. Don't play Grizzly Graft with the intention of making a really powerful creature that you'll keep using. It probably won't work out like that. Ilmire Rot Eater. Creature, and it's a beast. This surprises me that it's a creature because it looks like a structure, but it is a creature. It has 3 attack, 2 countdown, and 3 health, and whenever a creature adjacent to Ilmire Rot Eater dies, Ilmire Rot Eater gains 1 attack and 1 health, which basically means that all of those spells I've been talking about that kill your own stuff, doing it next to this guy, gelatinous thing, will get you a bonus attack and health on one of your creatures, and that is always a good thing. This guy can very rapidly head straight up to 5/5, even higher. So he's always in a good spot to counter things like your Kinfolk Veteran, who just comes swinging in, fails to kill it because of its buffs, and then this guy eats him. Now, you weren't expecting to see this guy so soon, but in the 3-cost creatures we have the Lumbering Muckhead. Creature, Muckhead Undead. 8 attack, 5 countdown, and 6 health. He is relentless. Lumbering Muckhead does not count down. When a creature dies, Lumbering Muckhead's countdown is decreased by 1. That is, any creature, it can be your opponent's creature, I think. I'll have to test that. I'll test it in the match we play in a sec. Pretty sure it's not your opponent, but we'll have to see, it might be. And his countdown is decreased by 1. So anytime your stuff dies, anytime your opponent's stuff dies, this guy slowly counts down. He can go a very long time without attacking. But at the same time, he can come out and attack really quickly thanks to another scroll that we're going to come to later. And so, he is a powerhouse. He is pretty much going to be a autoplay by everyone, because for 3 cost, why not? His countdown's massive, but 6 health makes him a great wall. He's basically a Hellspit Immortal. And he has this 8 relentless attack when he eventually gets down to that point of striking, and that is kind of scary. He's going to see a lot of play for sure. Pestis is a 3-cost enchantment. It's for all you rat lovers out there. Enchanted creature gains +1 attack for each rat you control. When enchanted creature kills another unit, summon a mangy rat on a random tile on your side. So this guy will generate rats every time your creature kills something, and it gains a buff for every rat you control. So the more rat stuff they add, the more powerful Pestis will become, because it will give one of your creatures massive buffs thanks to the vast amount of rats you've got overrunning the place. But for now, I don't know how much you can really expect to get from it unless your creature is going to be killing a lot. So next up is Pillar of Disease. Pillar of Disease is a structure. It is a wall. Pretty sure it should be a totem. Has 0 attack, dash countdown, and full health. And opponent's units on the same row as Pillar of Disease have their attack decreased by 1. So it's the same as the old Ancestral Totem, except inverted. It reduces attack instead of increasing it, and it's for your opponents, thankfully. I don't think this will see a huge amount of play, just because I don't know if that debuff is enough to make it worthwhile. There are many better things you can put on your row to do things to your opponent. Oh, we're going to get onto them in just like the next couple of scrolls, so I don't think it'll be played all that much. Next up is Pillar of Fatigue. This is a structure, 0 attack, no countdown, and 3 health. Whenever a creature moves, its countdown is raised by 1. So this is quite powerful, actually, because anytime anything moves, it can't attack anymore. And that's the main reason you move stuff, is so that you can start attacking. You instead have to either have a countdown reduction ready when you move, or you have to be waiting for your opponent to come to you, because if you move, your countdown is raised by 1. Now this affects both sides. This is your opponents and you. so I wouldn't expect it to really wreck everything. It won't be played a huge amount because of the fact that it affects both sides, unless you've got a deck that's, like, I don't know, structure heavy and you don't have to worry too much about moving stuff. I'm pretty sure there is a way that this will become a deck. Pillar of Fatigue deck will probably happen, I think, and it will be quite powerful. The problem is that it affects your own units, and that's what will stop it being played in every deck. If it was opponent's units move, it would be played everywhere, which is probably why it's such a double-sided sword, so maybe there'll be a deck focused around it for the most part. I don't think it'll see loads of play. Next up is Puppet Soldier. This will probably see quite a fair bit of play. When it's 3-cost structure, 0 attack, no countdown, and 3 health. When Puppet Soldier dies, all units on the same row are killed. Now, the scary part about this is that Kinfolk Veteran exists, which means that your opponent can be in a place where they just slide everything out the way, send a Kinfolk Veteran in to kill it, and kill everything you have behind it, which is why I'd never play something behind it. Unless it's something I don't care about, or it's something I do want to die. Because, for example, there is a... I keep mentioning it, so I might as well just point it out. The Totem of Suffering that we're going to get to relies on your stuff dying. So if you have Puppet Soldier and Totem of Suffering separately, and you want stuff behind Puppet Soldier to die, throwing him down is a good idea, and I think it's quite powerful, like, considering it has the potential to just kill everything on your opponent's row. What I see this being used for is in a energy decay deck with burn. So you play Puppet Soldier, play burn, and you clear an entire enemy row. That seems quite powerful to me. But at the same time, if you're playing it without burn, your opponent can hit you with it. So I don't know how much play I think this will see, but it'll probably see some. Next is Restless Bones. This is a spell where all your undead gain +2 attack until +2 attack until end of turn, and countdown decreased by 1. So, meet Mini God Hand. Turns out he's cheaper than we thought. The good part of this is its countdown reduced by 1, and there are so many creatures in Decay that have 3 countdown, like the Husk has 3 countdown, the Lumbering Muckhead has 5 countdown, and the Staggering Muckhead has 2. So there's no real play your undead out, play Restless Bones and win. But it is something people will have to anticipate. But this is what I mentioned when I was discussing Draining Mist. This counters that perfectly, because suddenly they're on 3 countdown, 2 countdown, and 1 reduction isn't enough to get them to attack. So Restless Bones is good. It will probably be played a lot in decks that focus around the undead. And I will be probably very unhappy when I see it played against me still, even though it has that countdown decreased by 1, not 2, as a nerf to stop it being the next God Hand. Nope. Soul Scrounger. When a creature is destroyed, enchanted unit's countdown is decreased by 2. This is exactly the same ability that is on the Lumbering Muckhead. You can enchant the Lumbering Muckhead with this, so that whenever one of your creatures dies, his countdown gets decreased by 2, and that is cool. As you can see, the Life Stealer in the image, he's probably going to also be benefiting from this, because anytime something on your side dies, he attacks, because his countdown's that low. And that is worth thinking about. If you have a creature that can potentially attack every turn if something dies, that's quite powerful. So this is probably one that we'll see quite a bit of play, in my opinion. Probably not massively, because it is an enchantment. Enchantments can be easily dealt with by purification and pushback. But putting it on a Lumbering Muckhead is a very powerful play, especially with the amount of kill spells that Decay has. So this one might be one to watch out for and be prepared for. Soul Steal. Destroy target creature with health 2 or less. Summon a Staggering Muckhead on a random tile on your side. This spell I play purely for the benefit of killing a creature and getting one back. I don't play it because I want a Staggering Muckhead. I play it because if I kill a Staggering Muckhead, my Lumbering Muckhead gets its countdown reduced by 2 because of Soul Scrounger, and thanks to Totem of Suffering, an opponent idle takes a damage. This is purely to exist to just let you kill something and summon a something with it. It probably existed originally as just a kill spell, but people didn't see the benefit of that. So they put in the Staggering Muckhead Part 2. Staggering Muckhead is fine, it's not super great, and it's just something else I'm going to kill later. Cursemonger. 4 Decay, it's a human, 3 attack, 2 countdown, 4 health. Ranged attack, when countdown is 0, Cursemonger may increase its countdown by 2 to give target unit Curse 2. Curse 2 is the same as Curse, but at any time an opponent is dealt damage, it takes 2 extra damage. Curse 2 does stack, so you can put Curse 2 on an opponent multiple times to mean that they take 6 damage when next time they are dealt damage. So Cursemonger is probably an all-star that will see a heck of a lot of play. Forecast, it's a pretty good place, and now we're into the forecast stuff. Damning Curse. Destroy target unit. Units you control are dealt 1 damage. That's pretty powerful. It lets you just go kablam and destroy something, but all of your units will be hurt by it, and in Decay. Some of your creatures will probably die if they're Staggering Muckheads, which isn't a bad thing, considering we want to kill our own stuff if we've got a Lumbering Muckhead. But if you cast it a lot, you will tick down all your stuff. Ilmire Hunter. 2 attack, 2 countdown, 5 health, so it's pretty high health. And it is a Slayer. Slayer means that when Ilmire Hunter deals damage to a creature, that creature is destroyed. So that seems quite powerful, because it is. Anything Ilmire Hunter hits, it dies. So this will probably be another one of those all-stars that will be played in every deck, because it can kill an Iron Ogre in 1 hit, which is really powerful. So expect to see a lot of Ilmire Hunter. This scroll is just bonkers. It just kills stuff. And expect to see a lot more stuff coming out with the Slayer keyword. Infectious Blight. Enchantment for 4 Decay. Enchanted creature is dealt 1 poison damage at the beginning of each round. If enchanted unit is killed by poison damage, a random creature on the same side gets Infectious Blight. So with Miasma, well, I think it was called. This guy, this enchantment can just kill, spread, kill, spread, kill, spread. And it'll work its way through your opponent's entire board, just killing off anything. It's a relatively good scroll. It does a lot of damage over time. You can leave it and it'll just kill its way across the board, weakening stuff. But if you kill something, then that Infectious Blight ends, and you might not get as much out of the fact that you cast this 4-cost enchantment as you thought. So it's kind of meh. I wouldn't expect to see it played a lot. Probably to begin with it'll be played a lot because people will be using decks without fully completed deck lists, but I don't... With Miasma, well, maybe Infectious Blight will be played a lot, but probably not, I don't think. Next is Totem of Suffering. This is a totem. It has 0 attack, 3 countdown, and 3 health. When a creature you control dies, the opposing idol on that row is dealt 1 damage. So, this is kind of like the old End of Reason. You just kill your own creature with the Soul Steal, kill your own creature with the Damning Curse. There are so many ways for you to kill your own creature, and that also allows you to deal damage to your opponent's idols. First game I played, I won. Oh, I won because of Totem of Suffering, and I'll tell you why in a second. Lifestealer. When Lifestealer attacks and destroys a unit, Lifestealer is fully healed. We know Lifestealer. Lifestealer's been around for a while. He's extremely powerful because of his healing ability, but personally, I didn't play him in my deck because I wanted my stuff to die in the deck I was playing. In a more aggressive, killy type deck, Lifestealer will probably be played a whole load because of that fully healed part of his attack, and the fact that he attacks for 4, meaning he can kill a Kinfolk veteran, which is quite good. Oblivion Seeker, which is probably my favourite scroll. It is a human, it has ranged attack, it has 2 attack, 2 countdown, and 3 health. When Oblivion Seeker is destroyed, draw 2 scrolls. So you want this guy to die, that's why you play him, you intend on killing him, but at the same time you've also got the ranged attack, which can be buffed and will do a lot of damage if buffed, and it's ranged, so it deals with spiky, but personally I just prefer him just for the fact that you can kill him to draw stuff. Next up is Ilmire Witch Doctor. This is the 6-cost stuff now. It is a human, it has 5 attack, 2 countdown, and 5 health. It has ranged attack, and its ranged attack is amazing, because it just lays all. When a creature adjacent to Ilmaya Witch Doctor is destroyed, an undead husk creature is summoned in its place. So now human creatures have to die next to him, which probably is his biggest downfall. He seems really good if anything dies, but when it has to be a human, suddenly you want your Oblivion Seekers hugging him, your Ilmaya Hunters hugging him, your Cursemongers hugging him, your Blight Bearers hugging him, and he's in the middle of a not very pleasant group of friends. He's still going to get you a lot of husks, though. Husks aren't the best thing ever, but it's a free unit, so why not? Plus he has 5 attack, 2 countdown, and 5 health, making him a pretty solid 6-drop. So yeah, I expect to see him being played constantly, since he is the only 6-drop coming in Decay. Now, here's the scroll that everyone's going to play all the time, ever. Necrogeddon 7 Decay. Destroy all creatures on both sides. Opponent draws 2 scrolls. I won by casting this. The one game that I've played, I had a Totem of Suffering, an opponent idle on 1 health, and the Totem of Suffering was at the back of my board, so I cast Necrogeddon and killed his idol. That felt good. I wish I had the Summoner mod to record it, but sadly I don't. Okay, I think we've covered all of the Decay stuff. There was a lot of stuff in that. I kind of sped up a bit towards the end, though. And now, I guess we hop into a game. Oh wow, there's a lot of people here. Okay, I spotted a bug involving the new Sister of the Fox, so that previous game I just recorded totally didn't work, so let's try again. Let's use Decay 2, as I did last time. It's not been tweaked, it's still not finished, I don't think. But that's easily a better start, so I'm not going to complain. Let's get rid of Restless Bones and get out my Husk, who has a cool idle animation. Well, yep. Basically, he does the robot. Now, do I cast Languid on my own guy? No! That would just be silly. That's what I'm going to cast it on. Now, that's even a really bad target for it as well, but I want the draw. Screw you. I want the draw. Oh, goodbye. And let's put Shroud of Unlife on this guy. What's the matter? You got 0 attack there. Then I'll grab out my Cursemonger. I don't even know the Shroud of Unlife. Kabam! Love all the animations in Decay so far. We're all so good. He has 3 countdown. That is a lot of countdown. I got another Oblivion Seeker, though. Let's just slide everything back and put him at the front so that he dies. Because then I get scrolls. Scrolls. Ah! That's okay, he doesn't have speed. It's post-traumatic stress whenever I see a mangonel. I have no reason to... Oh, I did put this in here. That wouldn't be worthwhile at all. What was I thinking? I'm going to sacrifice the Totem of Suffering for now. Oh, I can get a new Husk. Cool. I'm like, and then I can play Soul Steel, but that wouldn't help me. I am just going to straight kill the mangonel with my thing. Watch its attack animation. Stab! It's my favourite attack animation now. Pushback. No! I forgot pushback exists. Damn you, pushback! Okay, let's get rid of Soul Steel for some resources. Play my Blight Bearer. And play my Husk. Now, I don't want to do anything else. And when I start killing my own creatures, it's because I've got my Totems of Suffering out, and I've got my... Totems of Suffering out, and I've got my Lumbering Muckhead out. They aren't out at the moment, so I don't really want to be killing my own stuff. Sadly. That's also designed for him. This is really bad not having him yet. I just need 1 of him and I'm okay. Just give this guy... Well, what does he have? Poison. Shroud of Unlife. When he dies, he comes back. Whatevs. Stab! I'm too in love with that animation. Oh, if I'd have put Curse on him, he'd have taken 2 extra damage from poison, right? Ah. I could start trying to buff up my Rot Eater. Which actually makes sense. Oh, but there's a lumbering muckhead, and I'm going for the lumbering muckhead. So, lumbering muckhead, and then kill this, because it's going to die anyway. Oh, not there! What? Are you kidding? Crap. The best I can do. If stuff moves in... Oh, lumbering muckhead's gone. But he didn't kill that, so I can still kill it myself. So the downside of the lumbering muckhead is he has such a low countdown, and... he does the whole stupid thing with the pushback. Pushback! I will get out my lumbering muckhead again. That guy's dead. He's dead. He's still got poison. He gets poisoned at the start of the next turn. He's dead. So I'm going to attack an idol instead. And that will do for now. Stab. And because he died. Woo. Because they died. He's now on 2. Thank you, AI. Now, can I kill enough stuff? I don't think I can. I think I'm going to have to move out the way. Move out the way. Put down a Blight Bearer. And another Blight Bearer. Attacking into that row right now would be a bad idea. My asthma well suddenly seems really good. I wouldn't have said it before. Now I'm thinking it's really cool. I'm going to lose 1. Yep. Poison. Let's think. If I do that, I can play this and get these guys out this way. Not bad. It's a good position because it means that it takes me 1 damage. Oh no, he's moving to kill that instead. Whatever. You're thinking this through more than I am, AI. That guy will go down to 2 health, which means that if I get a soul steal... didn't happen. Got a languid and a necrogeddon. Necrogeddon would just kill everything, which would be funny. And a staggering muckhead. Nice, 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 nice. So, let's try and reduce the amount of poison damage. Oh, wait. If I move... whatever. I'll just take it. Take it like a man. Get that out on there as well. Well, bam! Lumbering Muckhead, you're so cool. Right now that they're showing Lumbering Muckhead's ability, I never have to use him again. I don't know why I'm saving that quite so much as I am. I love this guy so much. He's so cool. Lumbering Muckhead. Let that guy attack. And I'm going to kill that to summon 1 and move it closer. Nice. I don't know why these people have lasers, but they do. Town full of lasers. Thankfully, these guys suck, thanks to me casting Languid on them. They're hitting for basically nothing. Shaboom! Don't kill him. That dies though, which means that they get their buffs. He's gonna die, sadly. Ooh, not quite good enough. So instead I'll just summon another Muckhead. Slide across a bit. Restless Bones could be good if I... Well, that Lumbering Muckhead's gonna die. If something else dies, then I'm in a position where using my Restless Bones would get me a 10 attack thingy. No, not Totem of Suffering. I want something that can kill my own stuff. Nope. Darn. Well, let's get the... there's nowhere really safe to put the Totem of Suffering at the moment. If I move him across, I can move him in and kill one of them. Or I can kill one of them. I'm going to kill the one that's attacking those, because that makes far more sense. I'm also going to throw down the Rot Eater here. And a Staggering Muckhead at the back. Now, I do have the Restless Bones, which I could have used to give him +2, but I'd rather wait until I get the opportunity to use it on one of my Muckheads. I love the magic that they use. Whoa-bam! And now my Muckheads are ready to be used. I wonder... No, it wouldn't have mattered because they'd have missed their attack timing. But if he'd have been in front, I'd have cast Restless... There's some deep play to the Lumbering Muckhead, I'm starting to realise. Now, I can buff one, have it attack for a stupidly huge amount. 10. Do I want the Totem of Suffering? I might as well, since I'm in quite a good position. Let's move him out. Cast Restless Bones. 10. Yup. 5. Yup. And let's put the Totem of Suffering in here. Shabam! I love it so. Oh god, I hate that he does that because I keep forgetting about it. He can move. Ah, stop doing that. That's something I really have to get used to. Is he gonna kill that? Ooh. I lose my rot thing. My rot eater. But I do have this guy attacking for 8. That dies, takes 1 damage over there, and I draw stuff, and then 2 damage comes in. That dies, takes 1 damage down here. Now, what have I drawn? Nothing amazing. Still nothing amazing. Right, I don't want to lose... Well, I don't mind losing stuff, but I'd rather not. Soul Scrounger is adjacent. No, it's any time, so let's put that on him. Because he'll attack. Right? If I kill 3 things, he attacks. But I can't kill 3 things. Close, but not quite. Oh no, he attacks! So I need to kill 2 things. So if I move him up... Oh, I feel like such a genius for this. As long as he's in front and he attacks first, that means that his countdown will be down in time for the attack. If I move him up, I can... Yes, yes. Oh, I feel like such a genius. I know I'm not that much of a genius, but it feels good. That's what matters. And then I can play this. And because of the attack order... Come on. Please tell me this works. Yes, it does. No, it didn't work. He didn't attack. Damn it. My amazing plan didn't work. I'm going to request that they fix that. Because that should have worked. Obviously. As you can see, they're taking so much damage from these attacks, though. I don't know if I'm going to continue using the Witch Doctor, because I'm not using him anywhere near as much as anything else. Now, let's get the Cursemonger out as a wall. I probably should have swapped them over. In fact, you know what? Well, hey! And the Hunter as a wall. So I've got some defense going. 3 doesn't kill, but it's still a hit. So, oh, he moved! Killed something, but he moved. I didn't want him to move. Oh, that's gonna hurt. That cost me my, amazing lumbering muckhead. Might be time for Necrogeddon, just to recover. Deal some damage to his idol, but not a huge amount. Necrogeddon? No. Soul Steel, but I don't have any of my husks to make use of my Soul Steel. I get the feeling this deck still needs work, like a lot of work. Well, let's kill an idol. Boom. I could have put an Immovor on something else and then done that. But that would have been clever. Where's the fun in being clever? Let's just pull him down, summon a husk, and a Rot Eater. And hope for the best at this point. I'm not out of it, but it's not great. I can kill an idol using my Super Necrogeddon ending. Also, are those guys doing 2 damage then? Yeah, they will be, won't they? So I'd do 4 damage to that, which is not bad. That's an idol down. Go on, AI. Kill you for me. I just need to keep building up this wall. Not let them through. Let's put an Imvor on him. Summon that. And summon that. So when that guy dies, I will draw a scroll from that taking damage. Which is nice. And that will take 2 damage. Then it'll be at 5. And if I put 2 more creatures down here, as long as they don't kill me up there, I can win this potentially. I need to kill that guy though. That guy will cause me trouble. But there's the draw. For free. And that takes 2. Languid. Ooh. I can reduce the attack or something. Let's reduce the attack of that guy. I also drew a Soul Scrounger. Don't think I'm going to use Restless Bones, because none of my stuff is high enough for me to do that. Nope, I wanted to summon the husk. Right, Shroud of Unlife. Plus put the Bright Bearer out here. Now, if he dies, they have to attack through another one first. And I'm killing that guy. So if they kill all the stuff on this row, they lose. Just saying. Just hope they don't kill me elsewhere first. Poison, yay. Doesn't kill that. Oh, died adjacent. That's nice. This could be interesting. I soul steal that guy. It's 2 damage. Oh, but he spawned over there. I forgot that. Oh no, that's because I used soul steal. That was close. That one will die. So let's put an Invor on that, so that if that dies, that takes damage. Come on, this is just the most weirdest way to win, and hopefully I succeed. Oh no! No! Ah! That Kabonk and that Imperial Resources have just cost me the game. Wow. So much stuff's happening. Game couldn't handle it. Why are you doing this to me? It shouted. Right, I just need to summon some stuff on this row that will hopefully die before this does. Or I could draw another one. No. Right, let's summon Staggering Muckhead here. Lumbering Muckhead here. Ilmire Rot-Eater here, and Shroud of Unlife here. Right. Everything's taking poison damage all over the place. This is so complex. Decay is extremely complex. I'm amazed at quite how difficult some of the moves are. I need to mention that non-attacking Staggering Muckhead thing, though, because I think it should have attacked. And I thought it was clever of me to get it to the point where it should have attacked. Oh, I don't mind you doing that. No! Oh, good. Ah. I was almost okay with that. Languid, reduce the attack. I will do that. Thank you very much. I will languid him. Stop him being quite so powerful. Put the Witch Doctor down, because I kind of have to now. And hope that 3 things die on this row. Which they might. They won't. Oh, if he moved that Skirmisher down, still wouldn't. Oh. That's some damage. That's something. Something's happening there. Necrogeddon, where are you? Okay, that's 1 damage. Oh, but that's getting health. Whoops. Boom, it gains health. Boom, it takes damage. That's 1 off. Necrogeddon, I can win. Right? Necrogeddon. Another Totem of Suffering, though. That's good. Not great, but good. I need to make sure I don't lose up here, which I am in a position to do. I wish I had something that let me kill my own thing. That would be great right now. Let's see, I've got enough resources that I can put this here and make it shrouded. Let's move this forward so that hopefully it dies faster. That's not any logic at all, but that's what I'm going with. Okay, there's not enough damage to kill that guy right now. 4 damage on that guy, he turns into a husk. 3 damage on that guy, kills the husk. Pushback. No! Damn it! If I had Necrogeddon, I could win really easily. I still could, actually. But I'm losing this idol. I'm not losing that one. But next turn I will lose the top one. Necrogeddon. I need to draw Necrogeddon. Draw me Necrogeddon. Nothing! Nothing that kills my stuff! No! Right. Let's put this guy here. Put the Lumbering Muckhead up here. This guy here. And the staggering muckhead. 4, 4, 1. That's not enough, but I'm gonna play it safe and put it up there. Okay, come on. Just kill. I mean, your board's full. You can't move. You have to kill my guy. Unless you win. Is this a tie? No. Yeah, it's a tie. No! That was a tie! Okay, so clearly there's some stuff with Decay that needs to be worked out. I didn't lose, right? That was a tie. We both won and we both lost. Decay certainly needs testing. I have no doubts about that. If I'd have drawn another Necrogeddon, I'd have won by killing my own stuff in order. Because the totem would have died last, so he would have damaged the idol. There was so much stuff that he couldn't move and had to kill my thing. This is going to be the longest video I think I've ever uploaded of just me. But holy wow, that was a good game. I need to talk to Mons about that. Thank you, and I will see you next time.